Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be creating a photography website. So I started this in a live stream, but I pledged to Nigeria, my country, electricity went off. So and my laptop's backup is not very strong, so I had to pause the stream. Then I this video is basically to finish up the photography website. So this is what the website is going to be looking like. You're going to be having all these images, and they are going to be, every time you reload the website, it will be giving you a different image. Okay. So this is hosted on GitHub. So you'll be able to share this link with anybody. You'll be able to share the link with anybody. So yeah, that is the website, and it is mobile responsive on mobile screens. It looks very nice. I've not done any major thing in particular about the project. What I've done so far is just that I went to GitHub, I created a repository, then I pulled the repository using a particular code and the access token. So if you check the comment section of this particular video or the description, you will see the link, the way the command you're supposed to use to pull your repository. Okay, that is if you want to host it on GitHub, which I would advise you to do anyway. But if you don't want to, just follow along. Now, the next thing that we want to do after we've cloned the repository, so if you don't want to host your project on GitHub, you just want to have it on your laptop. You just create a folder and continue from there. You get, just create a folder. So this is the repository, this is the folder. All I have to do is just to open with code. Then after opening with code, now I can start creating my project over here. So you can click trust. This is VS Code. You can use any text editor of your choice. So the first thing I want to do is to create a readme file for my repository .md. Okay, so you can just say photography website tutorial. So let me increase the font size. So instead of 18, let me have 24. Let me have 24. Photography website tutorial. So this website landing page is a tutorial on halogenous ideas. Okay. So very good. Now the first thing I want to, we said for this particular project we are using HTML only. So HTML is the only thing that we are going to be creating, index.html. So this is the only file we are creating for this particular project. Okay, so I can just say HTML, then I'll click this HTML5. So photography website. So this is the title of the page. Okay, if I save this, and I can just use this one to be viewing my web page. So if I use this one, okay, let me use this one. Let me use this one. So this is the empty GitHub repo for now. The empty GitHub repo that I created. This is it. So just come here. I can close this one. I don't need it. So I was on StreamYard initially, but I can close it now since the stream has ended due to lack of stable electricity. What we go through being Nigerians, only God can save us. So now come here, then you click on this go live. Click on go live. So it will open this particular document exactly. So you see this empty page, but you see the title photography website. Okay. So one thing I want to do to make my work easier is that I want to bring this one to the side. Then I'll have my VS Code on the left. So as I code, I see my results. As I code, I see my results. So let me put this one by the side over here. Then my VS Code will be here. Close this one, reduce the size. You don't have to do this on your own end, but for the purpose of me being able to see what I'm doing in real time. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, so I can start writing my code. So the first thing I want to do is to go to font.google.com to copy the font that I want to use. And the font that I want to use, the name of the font is Roboto Condensed. That is the name of the font that I want to use, Roboto Condensed. So I can just go to fonts.google.com. So I'll look for Roboto Condensed. Yes, this is it over here, Roboto Condensed. So this will be the only font in the website. So what I want to do, let me just select one of them, or let me select this regular 400. So go to at imports. Okay, all these other ones, this is for another tutorial. Let me remove all these ones. So this is the only one that will be left. Okay, so Roboto Condensed, just copy this to make it available in our project. Come to VS Code, then in this head session where we are going to be writing all the styles. So this is Roboto Condensed. Actually, we don't need this part, so we can just leave that one out for now. So if I save this, then after that, the first style I'm going to be writing is for the HTML. I can do something like scroll behavior. Then you can see that I have auto, I have smooth, I have inherit, and all these other ones, but the one I want is smooth. So then I'll come and say body. So the font family is this font family that I have over here. So let me just copy it and I can close it. That is all I need this website for. So the font family is this. Then I'll kill all the margin for the body. The margin will be 0. Then I can say the background should be EEE. Then the height will be auto. Okay, so the height of the body basically it to just take on the height of if there is no basically this auto makes it dynamic basically. It makes it dynamic. So let me save this first. If you still come to my HTML page, you will not see anything yet. You can see the page is empty. The page is empty. Okay. So let's start writing a bit of HTML. So within this body tag, which is where I'll be writing my HTML, I can do something like the main part. Then I will also have the footer of my photography website. So for this main part, I'm going to be having maybe a div with the maybe a class of landing, and inside this div, I'm going to be having another div of landing text. Then inside this div, I'm going to be having say div dot landing text inner. Okay, so now you can see that I have three nested divs, and with the VS Code shortcuts, I can easily write the the three of them. I can create the three of them at once. So I can give it an H1. I say this is my photography website. So this will be my photography website. Then I can give it an H2 and say beautiful images. Then after this one, okay, let me add an anchor link, a tag. So a will have an ID of our work, then a class of btn. So but the href is going to be on the same page, so I can just say images. It will be on the same page. Then for this one it will be view our work. If I should save this, you see what I have currently on the web page. You see what I have at the moment. So I have this h1, I have this h2, then I have this anchor link. That is all that I have at the moment. So after this landing text, the next thing I'm going to be having is the landing image. After this landing text, the next thing I will have is the landing image. Okay, so just to be sure, this is the landing text inner. So this is landing text inner, this is the landing. So now I'm going to be having div dot landing image. Okay, so this landing image, I'll just leave it as an empty div for now. Okay, so this will be the hero area. Now let's go and style this hero area. Now for us to style this hero area, what we have to do, um the first thing we want to style is this h1 that we have over here. That h1 is the first thing we want to style. So for the h1 font weight, we can give it a font weight of 400. Then the font size, we can say 2.5 rem. Then the text transform, you can give it a text transform of uppercase. Text transform of uppercase, then the margin of 0. So you see what it looks like now. It is getting into shape. That is h1. Then for the h2, for this h2, the font weight will also be 400. Okay, the font size, I can give it a font size of 1.2 rem. Then the text transform will be capitalized. Okay, text transform capitalized, then the margin also will be 0. Margin also will be 0. If I save this, and you can see both of them. Okay, now if you take a good look at this thing now, I've styled this and this, but I want to style this main container that I have over here. I want to style it, this main container. So I can do something like I'll be having some images later on, so let me just style the image now. Img, what I just want is very simple. The image will display as block. By default it displays inline, and the width, I want the width of the image to be 100%. That is what I want. So now to come and style the main, I can say main, the maximum width, I can give it a maximum width of 900. Then I will say the margin will be auto. So left, right, top, and bottom will be 0. Then I want to give it a, if I save this and I increase the size, it won't have any effect yet, but let's just continue. Then I'll give it a box shadow. This box shadow, I can give it a box shadow of maybe say 30 pixels, then 0 pixels, 40 pixels, then RGB E. I can do something like 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma maybe 0.1. Okay, so you can see the black color, but the opacity will be 0.1. Then I think I can come here and create another box shadow. I'll just put a comma here, paste it again, but this one will be minus 30. This one will be minus 30. Okay, if I should save this, now you can see the box shadow. You can see the box shadow now. See my box shadow. Okay, so that is the height of the main for now. That will be the height of the main. And don't forget the maximum width is what? 900. Size again. Now let me start the landing. If I want to start the landing, where is the landing over here? You see that this is the landing, and the landing has a class. So div landing. So I can just see, I can do something like dot landing. So this dot landing now, the background color, I can do something like FFF, which is for white. Okay, for the landing. Now, which is this landing over here? This landing. So that will be the whole of the hero area. Now, for the landing text, this landing text that we have. So what I'm about to write now will cover everything that is in the landing text. So I can say dot landing text. For the landing text, I can say they should display flex. So there is this thing we want to do now. We can do something like flex. We can say 0 space 1 space 40 viewport width. Okay, then I can give it a height of 50 viewport height. Then justify content center, align items center, text center, text align center. So padding right 1 rem, padding left 1 rem. Then padding left 1 rem. Okay, so if I should save this, you can see what I'm having at the moment. You can see what I'm having at the moment. You can see what I'm having at the moment. Everything in the middle. Now, so the padding left, then padding right, everything is in place. Now, the next thing that we are going to be styling is the H2. So I can do something like dot landing text, then I'll the H2. I can do something like color of 888. I save this. You can see these beautiful images. The color just changed. Now, all the styles that we have written for now, we've written for the landing text. For this landing text over here. Now, let us write for the landing image. Let us write for the landing image. So, for the landing image, dot landing image. For the landing image, what we are going to be having, we are going to be getting an image from Unsplash, but Unsplash is just going to be giving us random images. Okay, Unsplash will be giving us random images. So background, that will be a URL. So this URL now, we can have something like https dot then slash slash. You can say source dot unsplash dot com slash, there's this particular image that I got. Let me just type the URL manually. DE8W. I got this image online Y0SSBC. Let me save this. So if I come back, let me just confirm the URL. Okay, very good. So this is the image over here. This is the image. So the image is the URL. So background position will be center. Background position will be center. Then after the background position, I'm going to be having background size. And background size is going to be cover. After background size, I'm going to be having background repeats. which is no repeats. Then the height, I can say 50 viewports height. Then I'm going to be using a flex again. I'm going to be using a flex again. Then I'll say 0, 1, 60 viewport width. And I'll give it a margin of 0. If I save this now, Control Shift I, Control Shift I. Okay, so we, I want to use this opportunity to write a media query first. On a very small screen, this is what I want the user to see on a small screen. Okay, this is what the user is going to be seeing. Although I will still style this button, but I'm going to be doing something like at media. So I will now say the minimum width. So this minimum width, I will say 31.25 rem dot landing. I will display as flex. Then I will now say the height should be 100%. If I save this, so if I should expand this, you can see you can see what I have over here now. But for this other one, let us work with it. Let us work on it. So I can say the landing text. That is for the landing dot landing. The landing text. The landing text. The height is going to be 100 viewport height. Then the landing image also will be 100 viewport height. The landing image. Okay, so actually I can do landing text, then landing image. Save this. So if I should expand, so you see what I'm having now. You see what I'm having now. The landing text and the landing image, both of them 100 viewport height. But if I should close this a bit, you see what I'm having. If I should close it a bit, so now let us work on. Okay, so I need to write another media query, and it is because of this button that I have to write that media query. Although I'll be writing the main button query CSS, so I can just say 43.75, 43.75 rem. Then I'll do something like this dot btn. Then I'll give it a padding of 1 rem, then 3 rem. But let me go and write the original CSS of the button on top. So for me to write the original CSS of the button, I'll say .btn, then I'll start styling. I can say the padding is going to be 0.5 rem, then 2 rem. Then after that, I'll say the border should be 1 pixels solid. Then bring this in and ccc. the display the display is going to be inline block. Inline block, that will be display. um let me be sure of what I'm doing. Okay, the class is btn. So the display is going to be inline block, then the margin is going to be 2 rem. I can just say 00. Then border radius of 50 pixels. Text decoration will be none so that I can remove the underline. Then after that, transition background, I can just say background 500 milliseconds, then is. So let me now create the hover state.btn. So if they hover on it, hover, so I'm going to be having a background of f4 f4 f4. If I save this, you can see the button, but the color the color the color is not okay. The color is supposed to be 333. So if I save this, okay, you can see the color has changed, and if I hover on it, but there's something I'm missing somewhere. The landing image, the height is 50, viewport height, margin of 0, the landing text h2, original height is 50, viewport height. Okay, this is meant to be on mobile. If I make this to be 60 and I save this, it gives it more room to breathe. Out of 80, I save this, it gives it more room. Well, let me leave it as 80 for now. So okay, let me leave it as 80 for now. So we can move on. Max width is 900 pixels. This is where the mistake is coming from. Save this. The max width is 900 pixels. Okay, I was zoomed in initially. That was the reason why everything wasn't displaying properly. I was zoomed in initially. I'm sorry about that. So this is how it is supposed to be displaying, but if I should reduce the size, it will display like this. If I should increase it, exactly, I knew something was wrong somewhere. So very good. So this is the width. This is what you are supposed to see. Now we can go ahead to continue the remaining ones. Okay, so let us work on the images themselves. The images. So if I go back to the HTML, let's go back to the HTML. So this is still in the main section. So still in the main section, I can just create a div and call it .images. So this is where I'm going to be creating the images. So for these images, I'm going to be giving it a header. So .header, then inside I'm going to be having an h2. So this h2, I'll say my work. So my work, then I'll come here and create the first image. So these images, we are going to be getting them dynamically from Unsplash. So let me copy this URL that I have over here. I'll copy this URL, copy, and bring it over here, but I'm going to be modifying the URL a bit. I can do something like 1600 times 900 slash, then I'll do something like, I'll put a question mark. I can now say nature, or comma water. Okay, so every time you reload this particular URL, it will give you a different page. But I just remembered something right now. Because we were zoomed in initially, landing text, we made it 80 viewport height, but originally in the CSS, my landing text is supposed to be 50 viewport height, so we can just return it back to 50. Can return it back to 50. So for this one, if I should reload it, normally sometimes when you reload it, it gives you different images, but I'll just leave it for now. Okay, so this is nature and water. I can say portfolio. Okay, so after the image, the next thing I want to do is to add a caption div. Then I can do something like a caption. So no, z dot caption. So for this caption now, I'm going to be having for this caption, I'm going to be having h3. I can say photo one. Then after this photo one, I can have a paragraph, and this paragraph I can do something like lorem 30, just to okay, so it will just generate that um, those text for me. So for this one, if I save it and okay, let me just go back to my HTML and see what I have. So this is my HTML over here. If I should reduce the size a bit and I come down, you see my work, you see the image, then you see this other one, see this other one. So let us style it, what we have at the moment. So for us to style it, the first thing I'm going to be starting with is the dot header. So if I want to style the header, I can give it a padding. I'll give it a padding of 1.5 rem. Then I'll give it a text alignment, text align center. Then I can set the background, I can give it a background of 333. Then color of FFF. But don't forget the hash over here. So save this. So you can see my work. You can see my work. This is my work over here. So like I said, if you reload the image, it will be giving you different images. Okay, perhaps we were reloading in a browser over here. That was why. I don't know. But normally when you reload the image, it will give you different images. So you can see what I was saying here. Now that is the header for you. So now let us start the h2 of the header. So I can just say dot header, then h2, then border left. This border left is going to be 1 pixels, dotted, then maybe FFF. So border left and border right actually. I wish there were an easier way to do this. Right. So that is the border left and the border right. Then I will display inline block. Display inline block. Then after displaying inline block, the padding left and the padding right will be the padding left, padding left 1 rem, padding right also 1 rem. Okay, so if I should save this and I come, you see what you see the padding left and the padding right. You see the padding left and the padding right. So that is all about the h2. Now let us start the caption. This caption over here. Let us start the caption. So okay, let us start the caption. So for us to start the caption, very easy. Just say dot caption. So this caption now, We can have something like padding 0.8 rem. Then you text align center, save it. So you see that this reloaded on its own, and you can see that the image have changed. So you can see the caption over here, photo one. You can see the caption. So let us go and add some more photos to our images. So come down here, and then this is the image and this is the caption. So basically I'm going to be copying image and caption, then I'll paste it 4 times. No, copy from here, so I can just paste directly. So this is copy, then I'll paste 1 2 3 times. So for the first one, I'm going to be changing the alternative text. The alternative text is just for SEO. So this alternative text over here, instead of portfolio, I can just do something like a nature image, image, nature image. Then for this second one over here, instead of nature image, I can give it another thing entirely. I can just say nature and maybe animals. Okay, so it will give me an image in this so nature or animals. Then this is supposed to be photo, this is photo 1, so this will be photo 2. Then come down. So for this third one, I can have something like nature. For this third one, this will be photo 3. So maybe nature and clouds. So um okay, clouds. Okay, so for this last one, I can just have nature and maybe nature and maybe vegetation. Vegetation. So vegetation. So this is supposed to be photo 4, I guess. Photo 4. Photo 4. So come up photo 3. Okay, so save this. Okay, so it is loading all the images. So you see the first image, the second image, the third image, then you see the fourth image. So if I should increase the size of this thing, so you see what our website is looking like. You see my photography website. If you click on my images, normally it is supposed to go down. Okay, it is because the images is on top of this place. But if I were on Ctrl Shift I, so if I were on a smaller screen and I click on this, normally it is supposed to go down, but we'll sort that out very soon. We'll sort that out very soon. So come back here, then okay. If I should shrink my website further, so now let us work on the footer. Let us work on the footer. So I think we are done with these images. Now let us work on the footer. So for the footer, what we have there is not much. We are going to be having h3, which is say get in touch. Okay, get in touch, then a paragraph, email, maybe email or call past WhatsApp us to set up a meeting. Okay, to set up a meeting. So I can just say P, then email address. Let me use the strong tag. So can just say chris at halogen.com. Then I'll add another paragraph, but this one will be for the phone number. So I can do something like phone. Let me use an anchor tag. So this anchor tag will be, the href is going to be tel, maybe plus 234. Okay, so basically this is going to be the phone number. Just copy this and paste it here. So if I want to, the reason why I'm using this anchor tag is so that if somebody should click on this link, it will trigger a phone call from the person's web browser. Okay, so if I save this, I come down, you see it is changing the images. If I should come down, you see what I have over here. You see what I have over here. So come back here and so for the caption, so styling the footer now. Footer, I can do something like text align center. It will bring all the text to the center. So you see all the text are now in center. So the padding will be 2 rem and 1 rem. Okay, the padding will be 2 rem and 1 rem. The margin will be auto. Then the color is going to be 333. Save this. You see the color has changed. Okay, so another thing that we want to set is the h3, the h3 footer, then h3, then the font size should be 3 rem. So after the font size is 3 rem, the margin bottom should be 0. Then after the margin bottom is 0, I can do, let me style the link that under this underline that I have over here. I don't like the way it is looking, so let me just sort it out. So for the footer, paragraph, then anchor link, text decoration, none, then color red. Save this. So if I should click on this, you can see open and pick. Normally this is going to trigger it on my phone, so but I don't want it. This one is not going to trigger an email. If I want it to trigger an email, I can just use the anchor tag. Then instead of telephone, I'm going to be using mail to this particular email. So if I should come here, I enlarge my screen, my photography website, view our work. I'm not getting images anywhere. So scroll behavior is smooth. Come down and okay, the class is images, id images. So save this. So if I should view our work, you can see if I should view our work, it brings it up. Okay, so that is how it is supposed to work. So you can see the get in touch and these other ones. And on a phone, control shift I, if I should come to responsive instead, then iPhone SE. So you see what it looks like on an iPhone SE. You see what it looks like. If I should click on our work, it will bring this down. If I should come to XR, this is what it will look like on an iPhone XR. Click on our work. You see, if I should click on 12 Pro Max, view our work, it works fine. So, and if I should use an S8 Samsung Galaxy, this is what it will look like. an A51. This is what it will look like. So it is working fine. And if I should on my desktop, this is what it looks like. Okay, so well, yeah, like I said, there's a particular live stream that you will check the description below. This is where I started this particular tutorial, but like a Nigerian would say, NEPA took light, so I couldn't finish up the tutorial there. So the last thing I want to do now is to push my code to GitHub. That is what I want to do. I want to push my code to GitHub. So all I have to do now is just to pull the to send this particular repo to GitHub. Don't forget, when I started, I let me take this back to, okay, so this is back in this tab. So this is the GitHub repository that I pulled. Since I used an access token at the beginning, so like in the stream, I used an access token. Um, if you check the description or the comments, you will see the command, the git command with which I pulled the repo. So you can use it to pull the repo. Then now I want to push my code back. Since I used an access token, all I have to do is just to open this in a open in terminal. Then git add all git commit -m first push, then git, okay, then git push, and that is all I have to do. So my code is on GitHub. If I should reload this, you can see my code is on GitHub. Photography website tutorial. This website landing page is a tutorial on androgynous ideas. So if you come here, you will see the readme file that I created. This is the readme file. So that's the reason why you are seeing this over here. So now that I've pushed this to GitHub, how can we host it? Very, very simple. Just come to settings, then come to, no, yes, go to pages, okay? So from pages, you go to branch. The branch that you want to push from is the main branch. So save this, then you wait for 5 minutes. Wait for 5 minutes. After waiting for 5 minutes, it will have deployed your project. Then it will give you a link that you can share with anybody. So we will just wait for some time, then we generate the GitHub link. With the GitHub link, you can share it with anybody. So it's been more than 5 minutes. I can I can now reload. I can now reload to this page. So if I reload the page, you see this is my link. If I click on it, you see my website. You see my website. So every time I reload it, it will give me a whole new web page. So basically, well, this is the website live on GitHub. If I should go back to github.com, this is the one I have on my local machine. So that is it basically. So the code is still on GitHub. So you can just come to photography website and you see the code over here. You see the code here, okay? You see the all the code that we wrote, everything is here. So you can always use it as a reference. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the stream and how it happened. The electricity was beyond my own control. I'm sorry. So I hope next time we have better luck. So thank you very much and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.